Term of the day, Helium Supply-Chain Crisis, Temporal Documenting from the Zero Baseline. Today is March 27th, 2026. If you're reading this, you're witnessing the zero baseline of a global structural shift. At Sassy Class Analytics, we don't just report news, we architect intelligence. The term of the day is Helium Supply-Chain Crisis, but the framework is Temporal Documenting. We are standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at a world where the most inert gas on the periodic table is currently the most volatile asset on the planet. This isn't a drill. This is the math of reality, changing in real time. Card 1, the geopolitical trigger, why the sky is falling, literally. On March 2nd, 2026, the game changed. Iranian drone strikes targeted Qatar's Ras Laffan industrial city. For the uninitiated, Ras Laffan isn't just some factory, it's the heartbeat of the world's helium supply. We're talking about the loss of roughly 1/3, 38% of the global supply in a single afternoon. When Qatar Energy declared force majeure, they weren't just apologizing for a delay, they were signaling the collapse of the just-in-time helium era. Spot prices have already surged 100%. If you think your party balloons are getting expensive, wait until you see the bill for a 3nm semiconductor wafer or a 10TB hard drive. Card 2, the physics of the crisis, the boil-off clock. Helium is a picky beast. It doesn't like to stay put. To move it, you have to chill it to 268.90 and shove it into specialized cryogenic ISO containers. These containers are engineering marvels, but they have a best before date. You have about 35 to 48 days before that liquid helium starts turning into gas and escaping through pressure release valves. We call this the boil-off clock. Right now, approximately 200 of these $1 million containers are sitting in the Middle East with nowhere to go. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively a no-go zone for Western shipping. Every day those containers sit idle is a day we lose the ghost of our high-tech future. Card 3, Strategic Alignment, Temporal Documenting from the Zero Baseline. At Sassy Class Analytics, we use temporal documenting. This means we are building the data floor in real time. We don't wait for the quarterly reports to tell us we're in trouble. We analyze the structural alignment of the crisis today to predict the invariant truths of tomorrow. The zero baseline is today, March 27th. We are documenting the exact moment the supply chain severed. This is the signal burst you need to understand. The inventory at most semiconductor fabs is only about 1 week deep. We are roughly 25 days into this crisis. The math says the critical window closes in early April. Card 4, the sector fallout, silicon and sickness. This isn't just an energy problem. This is a everything problem. Semiconductors. Samsung and SK Hynix are sweating. South Korea gets nearly 65% of its helium from Qatar. Without helium, you don't get advanced packaging for AI accelerators. No helium, no NVIDIA, Blackwell GPUs, no AI revolution. Medical imaging. Your local hospital's MRI machine needs helium to keep its magnets supercooled. If the supply dries up, the magnets quench. Restarting a quenched MRI isn't just expensive, sometimes it's impossible. Data storage. Every high-capacity hard drive, 10 TB plus, is helium-filled. Seagate and Western Digital are already eyeing 30% price hikes. The gangsta platinum take? If you aren't hedged in physical assets or alternative supply routes, you're just a spectator in your own downfall. Card 5, the maritime math, The long way around the Strait of Hormuz is closed to Western commercial shipping. Maersk and MSC are rerouting around the Cape of Good Hope. That's an extra 3,500 nautical miles and $1 million in fuel per voyage. But for helium, the cost isn't just fuel, it's time. Adding 14 days to a journey where your product literally evaporates every hour is a logistics nightmare. By the time a ship from the Middle East reaches a fab in South Korea or a lab in the US via the Cape, a significant portion of the payload has vanished into the atmosphere. We are witnessing the physical limits of globalism. Card 6. The synthesis, invariant truth. What is the invariant truth here? The world relied on a single point of failure, Qatar, for a non-renewable, non-substitutable resource required for the highest tier of human technology. Temporal documenting allows us to see the structural layering of this disaster. It wasn't just the drones, it was the lack of strategic reserves, the fragility of cryogenic logistics, and the geopolitical arrogance of assuming the Strait of Hormuz would always be open. As we move past the zero baseline, the focus shifts to recovery and structural realignment. We are looking for the signal in the noise of the panic. Stay frosty. Bibliography, U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, 2025-2026. Helium Supply and Demand Statistics, Global Production Analysis. Direct link, reference placeholder, Kornbluth, P. 2026. The Helium Crisis 4.0. Impact of Geopolitical Instability on Cryogenic Logistics. Industry Expert Analysis. Glossary of Terms. Temporal Documenting. Temporal documenting. The practice of capturing and analyzing data from a zero baseline in real time to observe structural changes as they happen. Boil-off, helium boil-off. The process where liquid helium escapes as gas due to temperature rise, creating a finite window for transportation. Zero baseline. Zero baseline, the starting point of a systemic disruption used to measure the total trajectory of fallout. Invariant truth. Invariant truth. A fundamental reality that remains constant regardless of narrative shifts or temporary market fluctuations. Presented by FarrahFerris, Digital Representative Analytical Architecture, Research, and Artwork by FarrahFerris. Drafted by PA1. Architected to create ease for high intellectual thinkers. Helium Crisis 2026. Supply Chain, Shocker Geopolitics. Sassy Class Analytics.